What? What's up? What's up, bozos? Your boy was sick yesterday. Still a little bit sick today. Feeling so much freaking better today. Feeling so much better. And now we are live. I got something in my right eye, and now my right eye is blurry, dude. Like today, I felt, you know when you feel something like in your eye, dude? Yeah, that's what it felt like. So anyway, we're live today. And today, since I'm feeling better, I feel like I can yell a little bit. I'm full of energy today. I'm absolutely ecstatic. When you get to do, when you get to do the things that you love to do and the thing that you feel like you are called to do, when you get to do that every day, that's a blessing that I can't even describe. It's a blessing that I can't even describe, and it gets you energetic. It makes you, it gets you excited for every single day. Like right now, I'm going to do this live. I get to I get to add a new online client to my roster that's a teenager that I get to help. Like their parents are trusting me to help this girl get better from POTS syndrome. And that's an amazing place to be for me. It's an amazing place for me. So I'm super happy. I'm ecstatic. I have tons of energy today because of this. Like it just humbles me. It makes me feel so good that people genuinely trust me enough to help them, but not just them, also their children. That is extremely humbling for me. So right now, I'm actually, as I'm on live, I am about to put a new client on my schedule. And to me, that's dope. I just love that. I hope that everybody at some point in their life gets to experience waking up energized and ecstatic, that they get to do what they were called to do, that they get to do what they feel they are passionate about and that they love. Like this is one of the things that I love. And fortunately for me, I get to do all the things that I love for a living, which is crazy. I get to podcast, which is great, which means create, right? I get to create and talk about topics and issues that I love. And then I get to help people via fitness and health longevity in the POTS community, which I also love. I love helping people find their health and wellness. I love that. I love it. I can't even describe how much I am in love with that. It's crazy. So anyway, today we are going to talk about POTS syndrome and the medical gaslighting, or what people would refer to as the medical gaslighting, right? So I'm going to wait a little bit until we see people in this chat, and then we'll get after it. We'll get after it. Something that I'm trying to work on when it comes to being live is saying I find myself, before it was swearing for me, and I completely cut out swearing. I completely stopped swearing for the most. Like I'll say ass or shit sometimes, right? But I don't say like, I guess really, but it's like contextual, right? Certain contexts, I guess, for me are certain contexts, right? Is what it is. So, I could go into depth about that, but I don't really feel that I need to actually. So, hold on one second, y'all. Yeah, it's contextual. Like I'll swear in certain contexts, but it has to be like the right context. But I don't really swear. It's something that I cut out. And the reason why I stopped swearing in the first place was number one, faith. But then the second reason why I stopped swearing was because I realized that I was saying swear word or cuss words as filler words. Like I'd be talking like this, and then I would say something like effing or F. I can't think of this. Instead of I'd say the F word. Now what I'm really trying to work on is instead of using swears as filler words, which is what I was doing, I say as a filler word. Now I'm really trying to work on not saying or even like. Like is a filler word too that I'm kind of like that I'm kind of trying to cut out. What are we sipping on? Got all organic. We got an all organic pineapple, carrot, orange, turmeric, lemon. Sipping on some juice. We're trying to get that immunity up. Trying to get that immunity up. Support our immune system aside from the stuff that we already take. So look, we're going to talk about medical gaslighting and POTS syndrome. I think that this is an important topic because so often I talk to people that I onboard as clients, or I talk to people, that maybe we do a consultation or even online, and I see so many people complaining and talking about the medical system gaslighting them and how doctors gaslighting them. And this is actually an issue that I have with POTS people opposed to the medical system, because it's my opinion that the doctors and the medical system does the best that they can in the context that they can, right? So what I mean by that is when you go to a doctor's office and you set up a consultation with a PCP, that doctor only has about 10 to 15 minutes with you to be able to tell you something about your health, to be able to answer the questions about your health. After that, they don't have anything to do with you. And so do I really think that it's a problem with the doctors, or is it a problem with the system? I tend to think that it's a problem with the system rather than it is the doctors. Oftentimes, and this is my experience, I have friends who are doctors, and my girlfriend's a PA, she's a physician's assistant. Most times when people get into medicine, they genuinely get in there for two reasons. Number one, a lot of times is that they get in for money. And why would you not, right? Number two is that they do get in to help people. But then the system is set up that doctors get into $300K worth of debt, $500K worth of debt, and they need to pay it off. And the system within which they operate within is set up that they need to push and pull clients through, right? Like they treat it like any other business. Instead of an actual health system, they have to push and pull. So get somebody in, do the little tests, listen to what they're saying, then recommend things based on what they're saying, but you only have 15 minutes to get context, right? And then you push them out, you pull somebody else in. Why do they do that? That's because a lot of doctors are incentivized, right? Their pay is incentivized with how many clients can you see in a day and how many can you get out in a day. So there are different systems that doctors are put through, right? So some doctors may actually be just given a salary, but they still have to push and pull as many people in and out as possible because the system is a business, right? The clinic is a business. Hospitals are a business at the end of the day. They're not genuinely concerned most times on people's health. The doctor might be, but the system is not. So the doctor that's genuinely concerned with somebody's health and wanting to help people, they're operating under a faulty system already. It's not the doctor's fault. Unless the doctor wants to go into more debt and take out more loans and take out more money from banks and owe more people, then they can do something like set up their own clinic and do concierge medicine. But then a lot of you guys are going to be pissed off about that too because it's not covered by insurance and it costs a lot of money. So what do we do? What do we do, right? When you go to a doctor's office and they're like, hey, this sounds like anxiety. I'm sorry, that's all the time that we got. I got to push you out. What do we do? This is where I think this medical gaslighting thing gets way, way, way too twisted. People are like, the doctors suck. The doctors suck. No, dude, the doctors don't suck. Again, it's the system. It's a system which within they operate, right? So what do? You are responsible. You are responsible. I think a lot of times people with POTS and some chronic illnesses, that I've come across, people don't want to be responsible for anything. They want an answer. They want somebody else to blame. And that's just not the case. So if you really want to get better, you always have to be your own best health advocate, period. So instead of going to the doctor so that they can make examinations on you, why don't you go to the doctor with a plan? Right? This is what you need to do from now on. If you don't have the money to do concierge medicine or see a functional medicine doctor, you don't have the resources to go to a neurologist by yourself or electrocardiologist, whatever it is, and get certain treatments that you want. If you don't have those resources, then you need to go in with a plan. So when you go to the doctor, say, hey, I didn't come here for a physical. I didn't come here for whatever. These are the things that are going on with me. I need you to give me the, the recommendations or the, request to see specialists. These are the specialists that I want to see. These are my symptoms. This is what I think needs to happen. You are responsible for that. You need to do that. You cannot rely on doctors to do that for you, period. And the other thing is, a lot of people, they go to the emergency room and they say they're being gaslit by the emergency room. But you guys, the emergency room is, and this is something that I had come to terms with recently because my girlfriend works in actual hospital, not a clinic. She's a PA. She's a hospitalist, right? She works in an actual hospital. The emergency room is for emergencies. It's for people who are dying, for people that need to be admitted to a room to stay in the hospital or something that's tragic that's going on. But then a lot of people get pissed off because the emergency room doesn't answer their questions about what's going on with them. Well, because that's not what it's for. The emergency room is not made for a prognosis or a diagnosis. It's there for, are you having a heart attack? We are going to check to make sure that you are not dying right now. And if you are dying, we're going to take you in. We're going to do what we need to do. But if you're not dying, if everything checks out, you're out. You got to go because there's people who just got shot in Milwaukee that need to come in and need to be treated. And I understand when we get scared and when something feels off and when something feels wrong, we feel it's an emergency. We want to be treated, but it's not the hospital's job to make you feel better about what you think is going on. And it's going to be hard for a lot of you guys to hear from me, is that it's not their job to make sure that you are less anxious about what's going on with you. It's just not their job. Their job is to make sure, are you going to die today? No? Okay, here's what we recommend. Now it's out. Go see your PCP. That's their job. That is what their job is. Their job is not to take you and do a stress echo. Their job is not to take you and do a tilt table test. Their job is not to request that you see a specialist. That is not the hospital's job. That's not the emergency room's job. That's the job. That's your job. That's your job to figure out how to get the recommendation, how to get the request to go see certain specialists. That's your job. It's not the hospital's job. It's also not your doctor's job. That is 100% on you. And if you have a doctor that's not going to give you that, you need to find a different provider or you need to complain about that provider. That's your job, especially if you're trying to be your own, your own health advocate. Me, the way that I handle things now, I figured this out. I figured this out a long time ago that it's nobody else's job besides my job. What it does to, here, let me just give you guys some psychology real quick. Because people are going to get triggered that I'm telling you it's your job, it's your responsibility. You're the person that needs to be in charge of all this. Here, let me give you some psychology about this, okay? When you take the blame and you take the responsibility off of other people, you win. Because now you have full accountability, you have full responsibility. Everything that everybody else does cannot bother you. It's now your responsibility. You are the one who has to deal with the turmoil and you have to deal with yourself. And am I doing enough to handle my situation? Stop blaming everybody else. Blame yourself. This is something that I learned, more recently, to be honest with you, with a business dealing that I had. I decided to get into business with somebody. I decided to get into business with these two people. The business didn't work out, but it was my choice in the beginning to get into business with them. Now they don't have any control over me. The medical gaslighting doesn't have any control over my emotions, right? I have full responsibility. I have autonomy. I'm the one who makes the decisions. I'm the one who pushes myself forward or chooses to pull myself back, hold myself back. So That's the psychology of that mindset, right? That frame of mind. I forget where I was going with that before. Okay. So how I decide to handle it now is that I don't deal with the medical system. I don't deal with the medical system at all. I find alternative doctors, functional medicine doctors, or people who are really well trained in these specific fields, right? And then I pay out of pocket. Now, some of you guys are going to be like, I don't have the resources. And I'm going to be the big brother here and say, figure it out. Figure it out. You can't be a victim for the rest of your life. You can't. What I recommend is there's so many ways to make money on this thing right here, right? There's so many ways. There's so many ways to make money from home. You can work at home. Like the excuse of not everybody has the same amount of money. Not everybody has the resources, right? I have been broke more times in my life than I can ever count. But one thing that I always knew is that figuring out how to make money is easy, because it is. Making money is very easy. Now, what you do with that money is not super easy to figure out, like how to invest it, how to reinvest it and to make sure that you're getting paid the same amount all the time. But making money initially is very easy. We're going off on a tangent. But again, putting the responsibility on yourself. So if you don't want to work within the medical system, you don't want to work within, insurance and all that stuff, then you better damn well figure out how to be able to afford doctors outside of traditional medicine and work with functional medicine doctors and stuff, and people who you might find more trustworthy, right? So because I don't want to work in the medical system, I don't want to have to go through insurance. I don't want to have to wait long, periods of time to be able to figure out what I want to figure out. I had to figure out how to fund it. And I think that's how everyone should look at it. Don Blade, unfortunately, you are spot on, and 99% will only go by protocol. They have to. They have to do that. I think that this is another thing that people kind of get upset about, is that the doctors go by the books, but no, they have to go by the books. That's what malpractice is for. They have to go by the books. It's not a choice of whether they want to or not. It's they have to. If you sue a doctor, he's risking his license to practice. If you sue if the doctor doesn't go by the book, he's risking his license to practice, and he's risking his entire career and also the way that he may provide for his family. So when you demonize a doctor and you tell them like you say that they're doing bad things and they're not advocating for whatever, dude, imagine somebody did that to you with your job. Imagine that somebody asked you to practice outside of whatever you do, right? Like, if people ask me to practice outside of like my training scope and be their physical therapist, I'm risking a lot. I'm risking a lot there. That's why I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get sued. I don't want to get sued. And I'm not going to risk my reputation on top of that. Again, that comes down to, you want people who will practice outside of the system, the normal system. Okay, then you have to go to people that will practice outside of the system. Oh man, it's storming. I gotta make my light brighter. Sorry guys, I'm going on Bluetooth right now. I gotta make this light brighter. Does it have a dial for that? I don't think so. Don't think it does. Nope. Gosh dang it. Why is everything controlled by the phone now? Go to settings, Wi-Fi. Make sure Wi-Fi is turned on. It is. I don't want this room to be like super dark while I'm talking to you guys. All right. So, anyways. And I don't think that this is it. Oh, maybe I am still sick. But I feel a whole lot better than yesterday. That's for dang sure. There we go. There we go. Uh-oh. Sorry, guys. There we go. There we go. All right. Sorry, I had to do that little lighting thing so I could make it look better in here. Now we're just waiting for it to connect. Sad but true. I reached out to a retired ER doctor after my second hospital visit to help guide me. I realized I had to take control, which is difficult when you aren't feeling well. Yeah, 100%. I think that a trend that I've noticed, except for the community that we're building under the app, which Dana, you're a part of, which I'm super happy to have you there. A trend that I have really noticed about the majority of people with POTS is the lack of wanting to take control, the lack of taking responsibility and accountability for your own health. Because look, at the end of the day, there's always going to be 1,000 doctors, and doctors are going to have different opinions. So what you need to do is you need to take responsibility. You need to take accountability. You need to be the person, right, that is going to be your best advocate, because no one else is going to do it for you, dude. That's just period, point blank. No one else can do it. Because it's like this, right? Oh man, dang it. It's like this, right? They always say when you own a business, and trust me, I went through this and I still go through this, because even my business now, people are helping me with, like, I have a designer, right, for my app that I'm trying to, I have a designer for the app, for the website, stuff like that. No one's going to care about your business the same way you care about your business. It's your baby, right? You got to look at, dang, dude, it's windy outside. It is going to tornado for sure. We've been having a lot of tornadoes in the Midwest recently. Nobody's going to care about your health as much as you're going to care about your health. Now, why? Somebody may care about your health a lot. They may care about it 95% of the way that you care about your health, but they'll never care about your health the same way that you're going to care about it. Why? Because you're the one who lives in your own body. It's that simple. It's that easy. You live in your own body. So you're the one, obviously, who's going to have more of an investment in it, right? You're living in it. You have to deal with it. So you're the one with the investment in your body. That's why. And people get it effed up. People get it twisted, right? They're like, well, everybody should care as much as I should care. No, and you shouldn't have those expectations on other people to care as much as you. You should just meet them in the middle. Meet them where they're at. Meet them where they can help you. Ask for them to help you the way that they are able to help you. And if they can't help you enough in the way that you need them to help you, or you need them to be there, or you need them to support them, then it is what it is, right? Like, it's kind of the reason why I have my app, which has the training protocol and all the resources, and I have my one-on-one online coaching, because I'm trying to meet people where they are, right? I want to meet people where they're at. And that is, hey man, if you're not willing or you're not ready to take the leap of faith and to have me as your coach, and and trust in me, everything, and you need something else that maybe you need to see some other results from first, or you just need proof in the pudding, or you're just not really ready to fully commit, or you can't afford it yet, or whatever it is. All right, the app is there for you, and I'm here for you when you need me to be here. I'm here for you when you are ready. And that's truly how I feel. But the same thing with the doctors, right? Like, you go to them with trusting them with what they're able to give you. That's it. And if they can't give you anything more, you can't expect anything more. Man, I might have messed this up, dude. I might have messed this up, dude. Ugh. Dana Bear. I put together a binder full of my medical records and took it to every appointment. I looked up every word I didn't understand and wrote notes. That's how I ended up figuring it out. See, that is called being your own health advocate. But Dana, I want you to understand that you did something that the majority of people will not do because it's too much work. It's too much work, and the doctor should be willing to do whatever I ask them and tell me whatever I need to know. No, dude, that's not their job. That's your job. Your job as the person who is sick, your job as the person who goes to see the provider, your job as the person who goes into the doctor's office is to be prepared, ask the questions, and have requests. If you just go into the doctor blindly being like, hey, can I get a physical? What do you see? Da, da, da. Like, you're never going to get any answers. You're never going to get anything that you want to hear. You're never, like, if you don't go in with the request of, hey, these are the things that I'm feeling. I've seen that, like, I did some research on it, and these may be the specialists that I think that I should get, a referral to. Referral has been the word that I've been looking for, not request. But these are the ones that I want referrals to. If you don't go in like that, then you're not going to get anything that you want. And it's not gaslighting, and it's not the doctor not doing their job when they don't do that and you haven't even mentioned it. That's not the doctor's fault. That's literally your fault. That's definition your fault. Dana, that's really good. That's really good. Hey, for your clients that started working full time again, do they struggle in the beginning to work and exercise all at once? A car. I think that these questions would probably be better for our call for sure. I'm still waiting on some stuff from you, but I will say it's case dependent. It's not a yes or a no. It's super case dependent. Because we make adjustments based on the person's lifestyle, for sure. Science nerd. Dude, I haven't seen you on here in a long time. Where you been? I've been missing you. Fortunately, I went through all this with lupus, so I was prepared to fight for myself when I developed POTS. Fortunately, I went through all this with lupus, so I was prepared to fight for myself when I develop POTS. Yeah, good. I mean, so sometimes it does take experience, right? Sometimes, I was just thinking about this the other day. You know how people say, wise men learn from other people's mistakes? Or like, people will say like, learn from other people's mistakes, not from your own. That type of thing. I don't know how much I actually buy that narrative. I don't know how much I really buy that story, because I was thinking about a couple of kids that I mentor. And I'm trying to, admittedly, right, I'm trying to teach them about like how to handle, honestly, how to handle finances, how to handle business, and how to handle women, right? And their relationships with women, and their relationship with money too. And it's like, I just think that some things need to be taught through experience, or some things need to be learned through experience, right? I don't know how much, like I can say all this stuff about taking massive accountability and responsibility, but I don't expect a lot of people to actually, I don't expect people to like actually take action on what I'm saying, to be honest with you, because I just don't know how realistic it is for me to think about that, or for me to expect that. I think that a lot of people, they like how things sound, and things sound sexy, and things sound really good. And I want to be my own advocate, and I want to be, I want to be my own advocate and I want to be hardcore and this and that. But like until they get to a position where there's too much pain to deal with stuff, that's when the shift really comes. So I think that a lot of people don't actually learn from other people's mistakes or from other people's stories and stuff like that. They have to learn through pain. Like the pain got to be too much, so I needed to change. A car. Oh, that's my that's my bad, dude. Sorry. And I don't mean to sound rude or anything like that, but I think that question that you asked, it's super dependent on the people, on the person, and like I need to know more about, because I don't want to say yes or no, because rarely are these questions that are asked in the app, or even like that I get on calls with people. Rarely are the questions yes or no. There's a lot of gray area. There's a lot of in between, and it's really dependent on each person's experience. Science nerd, I keep catching your lives too late, but I'm always one of the likes. I appreciate you, dude. That really means a lot. The likes, you guys, the likes go a long way on these lives. So if you do enjoy me hopping on and you want me to keep doing it, like hitting that like button really does do a lot. It helps me like further the content. It helps me do more content, not just because like I see like the like and it gives me like a boner or whatever, right? It's like it helps push the algorithm, and I get to try and help more people, and more people get to see the content, and then hopefully one person, some people do take my advice, and then they DM me and they're like, hey, this really helped me change a lot, or whatever. And then it's like, okay, sweet, we're helping more people. That's all this is for me, is helping people. That's my only goal here, is to help people. So Dana, I'm sorry you had to go through that with Lupus Science Nerd. It is a hard lesson to learn. It is, absolutely. Another thing that people say, so one of the reasons why I charge for the app, right? Like, because the app over everything, I think, is more so a positive community, right? More than anything, it's the positive community, and it's the surrounding yourself around other people who are like-minded. It's like a networking opportunity, basically, right? But like in a different way. It's a networking opportunity, but it's positive people with pots. It's something that you don't really find. It's rare, right? Because a lot of the online communities and forums surrounding POTS and chronic illness are like super detrimental to mental health and just like very negative. So one of the things about it is that it's like a community of people. It's a networking opportunity, a community of people that you get to surround yourself with. Like everybody just brings each other up type thing. But one of the reasons why I charge for it, aside from I'm putting in my effort to like make a program that I think is going to benefit most people, but another reason why is because I think that people value things that they have investment in, right? They value things that they have to invest a resource into. It doesn't have to be money. It could be time. It could be effort, that type of stuff. So my point that I'm trying to make is it's valuable because there's an investment. And I think with Science Nerd, right, the reason why your lesson, I feel like it's not bad. I think it's a good thing, right? Like you learned a lesson because you had an investment in that lesson. It was your health. It was your time. It sucked. But there's also an emotional investment there. That's why it's so beneficial, and it's not really a detriment. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a blessing. Like it sucked, but sometimes our blessings come in disguise, right? Honestly, yes, it took years to realize I had to do this myself. It sucked with POTS. I knew right away this was going to be my fight. Yeah, exactly. And you had an initial investment, and you did it. Honestly, I'm not sure I would have had it in me to get into this fight if it wasn't for stumbling across your YouTube videos. I appreciate that, dude. You don't have to gas me up that much. I love everyone on the app already. There's so much value for people who need positivity. Awesome, Dana. I'm glad to hear that. I think this community is. Hello? Who's that? Oh, I'm on live right now. I think that is invaluable, right? Like you can't even put a price to that. It's definitely worth the investment. Also, you got to think about it as a long-term project. Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's so many things that I want to build out with this. Hold on one second, guys. I'm going to close the door. I mean, me personally, right? There's so many things that I want to build out within the program and within the community and the website. Like I wanted to make it the most resourceful thing that people with POTS can ever imagine having. Hold on, guys. And part of the way to do that, right, is to fund it. So how do you fund it? And how do you make it a better experience for the people that are in it, most importantly? So anyway, yeah. So I think that this whole medical gaslighting thing is really overblown. If you guys haven't already gotten my opinion on that, that's exactly what I think about it. I think that doctors do the best with what they can in the time that they're allotted, the time that they're given. They also, guys, do the best with the education that they are given. So, my girlfriend was the only medical professional that I have run into that knew what POTS was right when I brought it up. She's the only medical professional that knew what POTS was right when I brought it up, which was so daunting to me in the beginning that I would talk to a PCP and other professionals, medical providers and stuff, and they had no idea what POTS was. That was daunting and that was terrible. That was a terrible place to be in. I could not believe that I knew more about this thing than the doctors that I was dealing with at the time. That really struck me. And so if a doctor's not well educated on something or they don't know about something and they tell you it's anxiety, it's not them gaslighting you. It's they don't have the information and they're doing the best with the information that they have. That's not gaslighting. That's not brushing you off. And also, I mean, how is it really the doctor's, job to educate themselves on a topic that maybe they're only hearing 1 out of 100 times or 1 out of 1,000 times, I don't know. Don't you think it's strange that medical professionals don't know more about POTS? Most people have to stay up to date on current illnesses, etc. I think that with the immersion of COVID and the immersion of cases, like how frequent cases are popping up with POTS, now, because of COVID, I think that more medical professionals are getting more educated on it. But I tend to not think that I don't think it's strange. I don't, because POTS was unheard of, like even 5 years ago. Like nobody knew what this was. And if you can go back in my videos and listen to me talk about POTS and how nobody knew what it was. And the umbrella term was dysautonomia. And there was subcategories, but nobody really knew much about it. No, because I think that science only takes you as far as science has gone, right? So like science will only take you where science has been. And if there's no research, data, or studies done on said thing, they don't have much information on it. And if they don't have much information on it, how can they educate about it, right? And also the medical textbooks are like running 40 years behind, basically. So the education that a lot of doctors are getting right now, the books are way behind. That's almost like asking, Dana, I'm not trying to go hard on you or anything like that, but it's almost like asking why aren't doctors nutritionists, right? Like registered dietitians. Isn't it strange that doctors don't know more about how nutrition affects cellular biology and stuff? You know what I'm saying? It's not, because it's not taught. It's not taught about. And we're just now emerging into the era of nutrition is way more important than we ever could have thought. Cellular health, mitochondrial, mental health. We're just emerging, and the data is just emerging on this. Same thing is kind of like with POTS, right? Is that the same thing with POTS, like the data is kind of just starting. Sugimoto, have you seen the lecture by Dr. Andrew Maxwell? It lays everything right out on the line and made so much sense. I just watched it this morning and it instilled a lot of confidence. No, I don't even know who that is. I will look. I'm going to look for the thing that you just mentioned. Let's see. Dr. Andrew Maxwell. Dr. Andrew Maxwell. What is the, which lecture are we talking about? Because I'm seeing a few videos. You linked it? Where is it? You guys, why won't my light connect? So weird. I'm lucky with having a doctor that genuinely cares. I had to educate him on lupus and then POTS. In fact, I had to educate all of my caretakers. I have to help them help me. Facts. That's so true. Yeah, but it's really important to link up with a doctor that does care enough to actually get educated, right? I'm actually fortunate enough to have a PCP like that too, that actually cares, that actually wants to that is in my best interest, that wants to see me do well and stuff like that. And I used to go to, even as a kid, I used to go to my doctor with all these questions, right? Because I always knew, I don't know, inherently almost that he could only do what he could do type thing. So, and then my doctor actually used to go and read up himself on stuff after I would talk to him about it. And then he would go into my chart and then tell me, hey, based off the things that you said, this is what I found, and these are things that I think are right, and these are the things to consider. He discusses what he calls Pantavarat, Dysautonomia, SIBO, etc. Then he explains the connection between them and methods of treatment. Yeah, okay, cool. Small intestinal bacteria overgrowth. Yeah. There's a lot of theories on POTS. That's the only thing that I would really caution people to think about. That there's a lot of theories on POTS. There's a lot of connections that can be drawn through a whole host of stuff. And I guess the only thing that I really try to caution people on is that never get too tied to any one thing. And with a lot of this too, a lot of different people's ways of treating POTS and helping people get better, it all seems to kind of go down to the same thing, right? So some people are super into the SIBO type stuff and the gut health thing and link that into getting better with POTS, and then people get better. And then some people are exercise is the main driver, and then hydration. It all kind of comes back down to the same thing. And that is just getting the body overall healthy, right? So if you have SIBO, there's something going on. Yeah. So I don't know how to explain really what I'm saying, but it all comes down to kind of the same stuff. So I'm gonna listen to that lecture though. I'm gonna listen to it. There's a couple here. Dr. Andrew J. Maxwell, MD, FACC, the embryology potential mechanism that tied together the pentad, Andrew J. Maxwell, MD, FACC, pentad assessment and management, Pearls. There's a lot here. So I'll probably Dysautonomia and Ehlers-Danlos. I'm gonna watch some of those. I've never heard of POTS before, and everyone I've told had to look it up. Apparently, someone wanted to rename it the Grinch syndrome years ago, but it didn't stink. Didn't stick. I prefer the Grinch. I do too. That's way funnier. That's way funnier. That's way cooler. I like that. I think I gotta unplug this light, guys, for it to work. Give me a second. Getting really annoyed about this light thing, that it's not working. So how do I get your app? Yeah, hit the link in my description. You'll get 2 free weeks. And then after that, it's $50 a month. And once you get in there, it will link you into the forum. And then when I see you in there, I'll plug you into the resources section so that you have access to all the documents that I've written. They're very short, concise documents on how to deal with things like do elimination diets to help with POTS and what to look for. And, you have a bunch of tasks that you have to do per day, step counts, all these different things. But yeah, it's a bunch of different resources and a bunch of different, stuff that I've kind of collected over the years, advice, and I'm trying to add to it as often as possible. So I think what's cool about it mostly is the community of people that you get to have contact with and connect with in the forum. It's all positive people. It's like the people that you see in these chats, right? Except we talk about if somebody talks about their symptoms, they're talking about them in a positive light, where they talk about how they overcame a symptom or what they do to overcome certain things every single day. Somebody yesterday posted a win, right? Was like, I golfed 9 yesterday, but this happened with my legs. What do you guys do to get over that? And then people will be like, hey, I'm golfing. And he also said, I'm golfing 9 holes today. What are you guys doing to stay active? Stuff like that. So it's really positive, upbringing, uplifting type of stuff. And one of our members in there, Mike, one of my clients, he's posting daily videos, which I think is super cool. And I want to see more people do stuff like that, where we get to see the personality and just like you guys like to come onto my channel and see my content. I want to see you guys too. I want to see the people who we interact with. I want to see their content and their demeanors and stuff like that. I love that Mike puts in a video a day for 10 minutes, just talking through his ideas and talking, and getting to see his personality and stuff like that. I love that. I think it's amazing. So yeah, his videos are great. They are great. They're very good, actually. Now if we could just get them, Mike, if you're on here now, if we could just get them to put recycle that content and put it on YouTube. Then we really make some movement, really make some noise. My goal isn't even to be the greatest POTS creator or anything. It's not to be the most popular POTS creator. It's to create a community of people and to, start something different, right? We call it the revolution kind of, right? But to start something different, to make a community of people that are positive, that have hope, that want to instill hope into other people and do their best every single day. That's what I want to do. Yeah, and I think that there's value in that. Dana, flood YouTube with positive messages and drown out all the BS. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm trying to do. And even if it's not YouTube, right? If we just have a platform like on the app where, and if I can build it out into the website and stuff too, where people go to the website and stuff, where it's just a bunch of positive content, positive people, like just somewhere where people can go for hope and for help, rather than searching every symptom they have and what other people have these symptoms and stuff like that. As long as there's something and somewhere for people to go, that's what matters. Because I get messages all the time. I get people saying all the time, it's your content that really helps me. It's your content that helped inspire me. It's your content that did this for me, that did that for me, right? And it's like, okay, well, if my content did that, then imagine if there was more content like this that people were putting out. Imagine how many more people, because there's definitely going to be people that don't see my content, but what if they saw your content and all your content was based around positivity and how you deal with things and how you're not a victim as opposed to being a victim? Imagine if there was more people like that, because not everyone's going to see my videos, but they might see Mike's or they might see Dana's if she makes a YouTube channel. You get what I'm saying? Imagine that there's more people who are like-minded that like create a community of creators even, and they're constantly posting content and stuff. A car. Reading Reddit motivated me to get out of the hole I was in. LOL. I refuse to be like the people that complained 24/7, even though I feel for them. Yeah, but a car, to be honest with you, like you're one in a million. That's one in a million mindset. Most people, from my experience, right, talking to people with pots and all this stuff, they'll get on those forums and it ends there. They get on the forum and the game is over. They've already lost. They go down this rabbit hole, they go down the cycle, and they continue the cycle. There's people like you and me who will see other people that are like complainers and that, that are victims and stuff like that, and we get sick, right? Like I get sick to my stomach when I see people that are complainers. Like when no offense, okay? But when people are like broke and they complain about being broke, I get physically ill because look, I've gone through periods of being broke. I didn't fail a business, but I just shut down a business. All this stuff, but I've never ever complained about a situation that I could change when it came to that, when it came to money, right? And I've been broke quite a few times throughout my life, right? Like really broke. Like when I was in high school, I worried about where food was coming from sometimes, and like sometimes the electricity was shut off. And in my adult years, I was in a relationship that drained a lot of my resources, and I was making really good money, stuff like that. And so I've been there before. But like when but the thing is that like I don't have so much pride that I won't do whatever it takes, right? Like if I needed to go drive Uber Eats right now, I go drive Uber Eats. Like I just would. And so when people complain about being broke, it makes me physically ill. When people complain about obviously changeable situations, it makes me ill. Like I don't understand that mentality, right? And so and especially when people are not being honest with themselves about how they can change their circumstance, that makes me sick to my stomach. So for example, how we transition that into people with pots. When people with pots say that they're doing everything possible or that they're so sick, like the pots creators that I talk about often, the negative ones, right? When they talk about how sick they are of medical gaslighting and I can't believe that this happened to me and I have PTSD, OCD, all this stuff. And then they have posts about them eating donuts or Kringles. And I'm like, okay, so tell me again how sick of your circumstance you are. Or when they're overweight, which means that they're overeating, it plain and simple, I'm like, so tell me again how you're doing everything, to improve your circumstance. Tell me again how you're doing everything within your power to change your circumstance. Because you're not. You're for sure not. People need somewhere to go. I'm so glad you made it. I watched way too many POTS videos, make me feel like my life was over. Negativity is contagious. Yeah, you know that saying, misery loves company. That's what I love to say about people with POTS. Misery loves company. That's why they make the reason why. And some people might cringe that I say this, and some people might have a differencing of opinion. But the reason why some POTS creators are so popular and why they make the content that they do is because they understand negativity, drama, and things within that realm of vibration do well. And misery loves company. And so more people can relate to it. And so more people will fall into the loop, subscribe to them, hit the like button, follow, whatever, right? And they'll be a part of the system, the negativity loop. They'll be part of the negativity loop, and then it just like reaffirms what they're doing, and then they continue to do it, and more people will do it, and then they feel supported, and they call it relatable. It's relatable, but like I've said on quite a few lives, right? Like I don't want to be relatable to any of you. I just don't want to. Because if I was relatable, then I would be the guy that's like, these are all my symptoms and I'm feeling crappy today and this, that, the third. And it's like, that's all, even if any of that is true, even if I was having symptoms, even if I was feeling crappy today or whatever, I would never, ever poise it in the way that I'm feeling crappy today. These are my symptoms. I'd be like, today's not the best day, but here's what I'm doing to deal with it. And these are the things I'm doing these things anyway, because I know that they need to be done. I'm not trying to be relatable because I want to be a source of, hey, when you're feeling crappy, you can still do things. When you're feeling crappy, you don't have to lay in bed all day. Actually, it's probably detrimental for you to lay in bed all day and to just sit around. That's what I want to be. I don't want to be relatable. If I was relatable, people wouldn't be watching. Nobody watches relatable people. Like, it's facts. Like, that came out wrong. Nobody watches relatable people. People watch relatable people, but so like in this world, relatable people at least don't do anything positive for you. Does that make sense? Akara, same here. I started wondering if there was any hope for me with POTS. Then I stumbled across Justin on YouTube, and then I knew it was possible. That's sweet. Sugimoto, POTS can be a resource drainer in itself. For me, I've had to figure out what I can do. Can I do 48-hour shifts? Yes, 48-hour shifts anymore. No, but I can probably pull 10 hours a week until I can improve. That's a great way to look at that. Yeah, right. And like effort, look, this is a kind of a thing that I've had to come to terms with more recently too, right? Like effort is very subjective, right? Like we all have a threshold, and that's okay. And I've had to work on being more forgiving about that there's a threshold, right? And like not everybody's effort looks the same. That's why we have a scale in exercise called rate of perceived exertion, or the RIR scale, reps in reserve. That's why we have those things, and it looks different for everybody, and that's okay. But I think that's just important to be honest about what you can and can't do. And most people, I think, have a little bit more in them than they think. Why would anyone want to stay bedbound or even housebound? That's what those most POTS YouTube kind of say. It's okay to be like that. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I don't get that either. Why like it's like propaganda, right? Where these channels or these like creators on Instagram and TikTok and stuff, they're like, it's okay to be bedbound. It's okay to accept that your life may not be how you want it to be ever again. It's okay to accept that. Is it? Like, is it okay to accept that? I just don't believe that. I don't think it's okay to accept that your life is damned or doomed. Why is that okay? Why is that okay for people? It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why wouldn't you just want to, even if it's hard, right? Or even if it's not reality, that your life is going to get better, wouldn't you rather be in the frame of mind that it can be and that it will be? Isn't that a better frame to operate from? This light, you guys, is pissing me off. It's really ticking me off. Dana Bear, I found myself getting into that victim mindset, and that was the first video I found of yours. You weren't relatable at all where you are physically, but where I wanted to be mentally. Awesome. Good. Then I did my job. I did what I intended to do. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you guys, like, I don't want to be relatable. And to be honest with you guys, so much so to the point that, like, all of my goals in life, period, are really hard to relate to. Like, so hard to relate to. None of my friends, no one around, except for like my hardworking, already successful friends. Like, no one can relate to the goals that I have. No one can relate to, and that's okay. And there's a big discrepancy there, right? Like, I've always been a dreamer. I've never been the person that's, willing to accept what the powers that be tell us our lives should be like, or what the American dream is. Like, I don't want any of that, like, I want a big bank account. I want a big bank, and I want the ability to be free, like truly free, to choose and do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it, and never have anybody tell me anything about it. Like, I just want all that. When it comes to fitness, like, I don't want to just be fit. I want to be the best, or one of the best. I've never, ever, like, I used to have this mindset, and I've had to recently grow out of this. But I used to have this mindset of, like, I don't even understand why people work out if they're not competing in something. Like, what's the point? Right. And, like, obviously that's not a healthy mindset to be in. That's why I've had to shift it. But, like, you guys can see where my mindset has always been at, ever since I was young. Like, when it came to being in a band, like, I love playing music, but, like, I didn't just want to play music. I wanted to do it at the highest level. I wanted to go on tour. I wanted to play shows. Like, I didn't want to just sit in the house and play music. So you guys can see where my mind kind of takes me, and where I am, right? Like, I don't want to be relatable. And I think that that's a couple things. It can be a strength, but it can also be a weakness. So gosh, I'm feeling so much better than yesterday. I still don't know if I'm going to work out as tough as I normally would, but we are going to get some sort of movement in for a show. Faux shizzle. So the light that I'm trying to fix right now is the Elgato Stream lamp, right? And this thing is just, like, not connecting to my phone. It's getting me very aggravated. I don't like the temperature of light that's, like, on me right now. Is it just my phone? Because now, like, my phone's not connecting to the Wi-Fi. Dana, I think that a lot of people find me in the same way that you did. And yesterday, I think you guys saw... there's some things that are inherent to human nature, okay, that I think is really important, that Mike actually pointed out in his video in our community yesterday, I think, where he said that it's okay to be jealous. And he was like, frick, I was jealous of Justin. He was like, this asshole, like it's going to get worse for him or whatever. And then he took that and realized like, no, I want what he's got, you know? And I think that what's interesting is that jealousy is inherent to human nature, right? And I think that it can be a really, really, really good thing, you know? And so I think that a lot of people find me in the same way, and they kind of think the same way, is that like, he's not relatable, but I want that. And that is my goal, right? And that's how I got better. I was jealous of other people not being sick and not having anything wrong with them. I was jealous. Jealousy is the thief of joy, for sure, like being jealous, right? But there's like also a healthy jealousy, you know? You can envy people in a healthy way. And also it's important to celebrate other people's wins, but we're not going to go down the moral and ethics path here. I went down a rabbit hole, but I'm glad it led me here. I'm glad it led you here too. Erica, when I found you on YouTube, showed you to my husband, and we both agreed. You are a strong force of positivity, and that is so rare. LOL. Thank you. Dude, thank you. And thank you guys for entrusting me too. And thanks for, you know, being in my corner, and I like to be in your guys' corner. I think that's super important. Mike needs an element intervention. Yeah, I mean, I won't disagree with that. But also, that those cans of element are, holy crap, dude. Wow. Erica, I am addicted to element soda, dude. Yeah, I have not bought a case since we were given those free cases. I haven't bought a case, even though I said I was going to get on subscription for them for the summer. I haven't bought it because I know for certain that it's going to be a problem. I know for certain it's going to be a problem. What's the best flavor? Ooh. I like the blackberry cherry one. Is that what it is? Blackberry cherry? Or the lime? I don't know. The blackberry and lime? Was that what it was? Here, let me look. What flavor it was? Black cherry. Yeah, that one was super good. Really good. But I don't think you can buy them in. They make you buy 4 cases at a time, don't they? Citrus is fire, agree. I am not at all a fan of the watermelon packet, the watermelon element packet. 0% a fan. However, they did something different with the sparkling water. They did something different, and it's good. It's good. The 4-pack. Yeah. See, it's just, yeah. And dude, I don't like that so much that they make you do that. They make you buy the 4-pack. I don't know. It's 36 cans, and it's, you know, it's really not that expensive when you boil it down to the price per can. It's not that expensive. I guess maybe that's the way that they are able to justify having the product or something like that. But like, I would really appreciate it and really like it if you could just buy a case at a time. because, well, hell, I mean, that's probably just, my personal preference, because if I had access to 36 cans or however many you get in total, I would drink one a day for certain. you know, and if my girlfriend would drink one every other day or something like that, we'd run out. That's the only reason why I'm like, ooh, that would cost me like $76 every 2 weeks probably. Which I guess still is not that bad when you consider how many people buy a coffee a day or how many people buy an energy drink a day. It's still not that bad, but I don't know. Kind of a stiffler with cash. Or at least I try to be. Try not to spend my money on things that I don't need or that are useless. Is that Prime guy coming here? Is that Amazon Prime guy coming here? This will be my third Amazon delivery today. How stupid. Why don't they just figure out a way to why don't they just figure out a way to put all this stuff together? Like, just wait on the delivery. Just put everything together. Like, I bought all of my like vitamins and stuff that I needed yesterday or the day after. I forget whatever day. And I bought a book. And this is the third delivery today. And what's weird is the first two deliveries came within 10 minutes of each other. So strange. I just don't get it. I feel like this light is never going to get figured out. You guys, I got to go pee real quick. I'll be right back. What have any of you gotten to enjoy today? Sugimoto, you should get in our app. Go click that link in the description. It's free for 2 weeks. Join the community. We're redoing our duck pond, and I got to enjoy the sun this morning. This is a good excuse for a break. How about you? I worked out and had a big bowl of Rice Krispie because today is my cheat day. I want the rain to stop where I am so I can go for a walk, work out, man, my phone. I hate that, Erica. I will definitely skip that one then. Thank you. Erica, you're thriving, dude. You're doing really good. The rain just stopped where I'm at. Did you end up getting a bench? Did you find a bench? Today I'm installing a Victorian style fan. Whoa. Nice. By yourself? Yes, but my dumb shoulder is limiting me. I got a doctor's appointment next week, though. Still the same thing, huh? Oh, man. I just realized that I have an unfinished video that I need to finish. Frick. How's the website? Thanks for asking. It's man, my waiting on the designer. That's all I can say. Waiting on the designer. I'm a person, I really like speed, right? Like I like things to happen, especially if I'm going to give you money. I like speed. I don't know what the waiting is all about all the time. Like I own a business, you know. I don't know. I like speed. And admittedly so, I'm not always the fastest with everything, but I like to think that I do things at like a decent pace, but like I really like speed. You want us to rough them up? Yeah, please. Please do. She's like one of my best friends, but that's sometimes the price of doing business, the cost of doing business with friends, right? You want to support your friends, but then at the same time, the line, you know, is kind of hard to draw in the sand of like friendship, money, being understand. I don't know. There's like a whole bunch of stuff. I just, yeah. Yeah, website's good. Like it's fully built. I just need to get some testimonies and stuff from some people, and that's it. You know, just some testimonies, and just need to get testimonies and then put that up. But basically everything else is put together. And then logo, that's the last thing. There's a lot of upgrades coming for the app too. So I've been saying to everybody to join the app, but kind of like what the issue is going to be is that I'm almost capped out. I'm like right on the cusp of being capped out for people to be in it. So let me see. Actually, today may be the day that it's capped. Because I just put on another new client. Yeah, today might be the cap out day. So there's going to be quite a bit of upgrades that are coming with the next, how do you say it? The next cessation or the next like upgrade to the app. So there's some things coming. There's some more things coming with growth. It's interesting, right? Because when you grow, like there's some things that need to be done. You know, like you have to invest more money, but then at the same time, it's like you're taking a risk, right? You're always taking risks. And like me, I'm taking, let me just tell you guys, with this stuff, I'm taking a big risk right now. I'm taking some pretty big risks with this. And I think that it's okay. I think it'll pay off. Like I'm no stranger to risks, right? Like I'm very risk forward. I'm not like a very like passive type person. I think that's pretty apparent, like with all the business dealings that I've gone through, and like I've had a lot of successes and I've had like one really big fail. I don't want to call it a fail because it definitely wasn't a fail. It was like I got in business with the wrong people. And yeah, so I had one really big costly mistake, I guess. But everything else has been really good. But anytime that you try to enhance something, you're taking risks. And that's really what I'm kind of trying to like, not mitigate, I guess, but I'm trying to I don't really know the word that I'm looking for. I'm trying to do it the most efficient way possible. Does that make sense? I'm trying to take the risk the most efficient way possible. Beneficial for me and beneficial for everyone else. That type of thing. Yeah. Because now my mission, you guys, I'll tell you something. I used to be not in recent years, but let me just give some like general advice, right? Let me give some general advice. I, in the past, have definitely done things with the goal of just like kind of excelling financially and stuff. And I think that can be a really good thing. Like money can be a really, really good motivator and a good, a good way to progress things, right? Like, cause it's a number, it's a metric, right? And it's never really been about cash for me. It's been about numbers, metrics. So like, and money is one of the tangible things that you can look at to know whether you're progressing or not. Whether we like to believe that or not, it just is what it is, right? So like the first time I ever made like $60,000 as an entrepreneur, I was like, oh, sweet, I made 60. Okay, I bet I can make 65. And then I made 65. And then I was like, I bet I can make 80. And I was like, okay, oh, sweet, I made 80. I bet I can make six figures, right? And so like it like goes on and on and on. That's a really good metric. But like what happens is that becomes like a never-ending game, right? Like you always just kind of look at like six figures isn't enough, 120 isn't enough, 150 isn't enough. Like you go down these rabbit holes of like it's never enough. And so what I think is like better, and what I've seen, and money comes with this, you know, is like how can you provide value to people, and how can you help, and how can you do it at scale, like a large scale. And by chance, the other stuff comes with it, right? Like the brand deals that you may want, or like companies wanting to work with you, or like if that's your goal at all. It goes into daily, like normal type of ventures though too, right? Like if your goal is to like just help people and then expand based off of like how much you can help people, like your growth is exponentially different, right? Like it grows way faster than you ever could have imagined, and it grows at like it scales a lot faster, scales bigger. But also you're not trying to scale it just due to finances. Like you don't like one of the things that I did recently in my business was I upped my prices quite a bit. And I did that in person and I did that online too. Well, why? because I wanted to help people more and have less people so I could give a better quality product. That's why that happened, right? But what that does is like when your goal is to actually really help people and you're like, okay, these are the things that I want to do now. Before I was just doing exercise stuff, but like now I want to help people with like blood markers and like check, like request that they get blood tests done and maybe a gene report, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then you educate yourself on all this stuff. And what happens is you can deal with less people, right? You can work with less people, but you charge a higher thing. Now you're more invested, they're more invested. Everybody wins in that scenario. Everybody wins, right? So, and then what that also does, it attracts the type of people that you want in your practice or in your business. So this doesn't just go for like my business, but when you charge a certain amount, it attracts the type of clientele that you want, you know? That's what it does. That's what it is. So I don't know. So all that to say, my advice where I was going is if you're making your own business or you're creating content or whatever it is, try to make the goal to give as much quality information as you can to help as many people as you can at large and to give really good practical advice instead of advice that people can't do anything with. The more you can help people, the more, I guess, the more impact you can have. And with that impact comes a lot of stuff, a lot of blessings, a lot of just like even people just like complimenting my content and my videos and telling me that I helped change their lives or their circumstance because they found motivation through my videos. I mean, dude, that is a win. That's more than money could ever do for me. That's more than money could ever do. When you guys like complimented in here and you're like, I don't know if I would be where I am without seeing your videos. Like no amount of money could make me feel like that way, right? Like, because it's so different. It's just a different feeling that you get. So, yeah. I've also never been gifted $10 million. But you guys get what I'm saying. I could imagine that it wouldn't have the same impact or effect on me as, you know, the compliment of actually helping actively change people's lives. That to me is just, I don't even know how to put it into words. You know, it's that impactful for me. I'm so glad you're reaching your goals, not just because it's benefiting me either. Hey, I appreciate that. And I hope through me reaching my goals, that helps you reach your goals. I genuinely hope that. A part of the reason why I reach for such high goals is not just for me, right? It's also, sorry, I'm reading Sugimoto's chat. I'm really sorry to hear that, dude. A part of the reason why I set such high goals and high standards for myself is because I'm a dad, right? And also I deal with a lot of teenagers. And I do in a sense want to be a role model for people, for kids. You know, I do want to have some sort of influence on kids especially, right? A positive influence, because I know what it's like to come from like a background that's not super affluent, right? Like a super affluent background. And I want to show people like you should have standards for yourself. You should have goals for yourself. And, you know, me being able to achieve goals, right? That me achieving goals, I think helps other people achieve their goals because they get to see that it's possible, right? They get to see that it's possible. That's why I think you guys like my content in the first place, is because you've seen what is possible. So I appreciate you, Dana. But I genuinely do hope that me achieving my goals helps you achieve your goals in the way that you're in the app. You get to speak to other people, that are there. And one of my goals is to grow that thing up to like 50 people by July, August. And because there's more people, then you're more motivated and you follow the program and then you get your results that you're looking for. So your goals are met. That's how my goals will impact your goals. I hope. So. Girlfriend just texted me, "Are you training today?" Well, well. I don't know. Thank you. It has already helped me. Appreciate that. Good. That's awesome. I'm happy about that. Should I work out today? Should I not work out today? To work out or to not work out? What is the answer? That is the question. I think I got to do it. I think I got to at least go give it the old college try. Good old college try. I'm not feeling the best still, but I'm going to go give her a whirl. Give her a whirl. My training thankfully has just recently super duper ramped up. Erica, yes, to work out. I agree with you. I'm finally, I think, on the other end of my neck injury. All praise to God. All glory and thanks be to God. I think that I'm on the other end. So my coach is finally letting me do ridiculous stuff. Let me read you guys. I want to read you guys something. Because this is a win for me. Ready? This is a win for me. This is the workout that I get to do today. Okay? Are you ready? Here we go. Notice how I said get to. I get to do this. All right, what is it today? 24th. Okay, cool. I'm not going to read my weightlifting stuff because that doesn't matter. But this. 3 sets, each at a strong but repeatable effort. A 25-calorie row, 10 deadlifts at 315 immediately after, and immediately after that, 12 thrusters at 95 pounds. I'm so pumped that I get to do that. I'm so, it sounds absolutely horrific and terrible, but I'm so pumped that I get to handle those loads again, that I get to do those things. I get to do intervals with that. And then after that, I have two sets, each at a strong, repeatable effort of 30 cal row, 50 wall balls, and then 40 alternating dumbbell snatch. I'm so grateful that I get to be in this position again, that I get to do this. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I've been waiting, and I've been so patient. I've just been waiting to get to the point where I get to do this stuff again, and I get to train really hard to the point where I just feel like I'm going to die. I've been waiting for that. I have to take a Zofran just thinking about that. That's amazing. That's great. That's funny. Yeah, I'm grateful for that. Oh, yep. I'm excited. So I don't know. This might be a workout that I record, to be honest with you. It may be a workout for for a video for next week. But yeah. I'm gonna hop off of here soon, guys. Oh, we're at 935 subscribers. Look at that. Yeah, I'm gonna get off now, guys. I gotta go get some stuff done. Outside of this, I gotta go get ready for some stuff. Have a good day, everyone. Thanks for the stream. Of course, Erica, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being in here. All right, if you guys have not joined the community yet, if you have not joined the app, please hit that link in description. There's a training protocol in there for you. There's a bunch of resources on how to develop heat tolerance, how to do heat exposure, how to do elimination diets. There's a resource on step counts and why they're so important, strategies for hydration, dealing with flare-ups, a whole bunch of other things. There's a bunch of resources in there. There's a workout program. But most importantly, there's a community and a forum for you to talk to other like-minded people that want to get better and that are not sulking in their own crap. So please, if you haven't already and you want a positive community to rely on, to lean on, and to talk to, go grab a spot in the app. Yeah, the goal is 50 by July, August. I think the larger we can grow the community, the better it's going to be for everybody. So go try it out. 2 weeks for free. After that, it's it's $50 a month. Yeah. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll talk to you guys in the next one. I'll pop in again next time. You better, Sugimoto, and talk to you later. Peace out. Goodbye.